Charlie Brown every time the GOP and the Democrats meet. I don't understand.
You sound like me. Talking to him
But I'm not
about
there,
not
I'm asking
communicating. But, so many times I'll say, let's talk about what we're for. And you can go back and look at our biggest wins ever, 80, 84, 94, 2000, 2010. The media was against us every single one of those times. They're never going to be with us.
Right.
And that's why it's helpful when people will get engaged and will help spread the word and help us on this, because we've got 176 conservatives in the House
Right.
that belong to the Republican Study Committee. Now, that's not a majority of 435.
Right.
And we go in every single day and we fight to push things as far to the right as we possibly can.
Against Boehner. That's who your biggest opponent is, right?
There are some things Boehner's done that I agree with and some I disagree with. And there are things probably I've done that you all agree with and that you disagree with. And that's all a part of it. My job is to push it as far to the right as I possibly can. I look to make certain that we are meeting our constitutional duty. We pass a budget every year in the House. Paul Ryan has been the one that has led on that effort. We send it to the Senate. The Senate doesn't take it up. Right now, we have 347 bills sitting on Harry Reid's desk. 347. I think the man is going to set a Guinness Book of World Records record this term of Congress for passing the fewest number of bills from the Senate that the House has passed. And so we go through all of this. We're playing the block and tackle, but we've got to find a way to keep us sovereign, to keep us solvent, to keep us protected, to keep us secure, and to keep flying the flag of freedom and fight back against this administration every single day. We've got a common enemy in this administration in the way they have approached running this country. The president said he was going to fundamentally change this country.
He did.
And he is going to it. And you've got a group that is there fighting every single day. And we need everybody we possibly can helping us with this fight.
Can we get a conservative speaker after? I will ask you this straight up. Will you vote for John Boehner if he's the candidate to be speaker?
If he is the Republican nominee, if he comes out of our conference, and I don't know if he's going to be the only one or not. No one else has stood up to challenge him as the speaker. So I'm going to vote for whomever is the Republican nominee for speaker. See, we will decide all of that in November after the elections. And then when Congress reconvenes in January and everybody is sworn in, is when the bodies meet and the speaker is elected. And it is my responsibility to vote for whomever is going to be the Republican nominee for speaker. And then my job within our conference, I feel like, is to push that agenda as far to the right as I can. I know not everybody's going to agree with me on trying to get rid of the Department of Energy or combine DOE and EPA into one entity. I know not everybody agrees with me. I would like to get rid of the IRS. I realize not everybody agrees with that. But you know what? Not everybody agreed with me when I was leading.
Who doesn't agree with getting rid of the IRS?
Oh, let me tell you, there's
He's in the Oval Office.
Who they are, yeah.
well,
I need to talk to
go back to when I was leading that fight against the state income tax here in Tennessee. Now, go back to 99 and 2000 and 2001. I got written about negatively every day. That was before the Tea Party got started back up. We kind of got that going back here in Tennessee. Had I not stood up against the governor and the Republican leadership in the House and the Senate and the Democrat in the State House and the State Senate, we would have had a state income tax in Tennessee. We don't have it because I stood up and led that fight. But see, the change doesn't happen quickly. It took us 4 years of fighting that and winning every single battle to get it to the point that it was a statewide issue. It took us 4 full years. And then it became the main issue in the gubernatorial campaign. Are you for or against the state income tax? And then it became the main issue in the elections for the state reps and the state senators. And then they all got in behind it and decided they would make it a part of the Constitution. And this November, we're going to have Amendment 3 on the ballot where you can go vote to amend the state constitution that we will never have a state income tax in this state. But see, that's a long way from February 9th, 1999, when this started. It is a long way, and it shows you how long that time has changed. And bear in mind, when we were fighting this, we had Democrat control of the State House and the State Senate. Democrats controlled the election commissions. Democrats were in all the constitutional officers, the state comptroller, the state treasurer, the secretary of state, all that was Democrat. Now every bit of that is Republican, but we didn't get there overnight. And, you know, as fast as we would like to change things in Washington, we've got to block and tackle, and then we've got to be making steps forward to make some change so that we roll this back.
I think the concern is I don't think anybody that I know believes we have 13, 14 years to fix this.
No.
So that's why there's more impatience and more, a greater sense
You
of
know,
urgency.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and I am so pleased that people now, we the people, are standing up to be the people. I think that's great. And it is a tremendous amount of support to me when I go to DC and I talk about my bill for DACA, and I had to work hard to get a vote on that bill in the House. I had to work very hard to get that to the floor
But
for
you
a
should,
vote.
it's a GOP controlled house.
I had to work very hard to get that.
I'm not denying that you had to, I'm just saying
Well, I
it's,
hope you appreciate that I did it. And I did it because it's a vote that my constituents wanted to see. And it's something my constituents want done. You know, my bill for across-the-board spending cuts, 1% across-the-board spending cuts, save everything but not cutting the military. I do that every year. First time I put that bill out there, guess how many co-sponsors I have? 32.
Probably not a whole lot.
32. 32. You know?
well, I think that's part of our frustration is that.
Maybe if you raise it to 5%, you get more.
I have that one too. I have that one too.
All right,
I didn't
good deal.
have as many. I give people a choice. Do you want to cut 1, 2, 5% across the board? You know, Hannity now talks about the penny plan,
Yeah, the
cutting a
penny plan.
penny off the dollar. And that
No one
has
seems
helped a tremendous
to,
amount.
it doesn't get any traction at all.
Well, it's hard to get it traction, but I don't give up. Because, see, it's what my constituents want to see done. The work that I did on ending late-term abortions, we passed that in the House. And I got the Distinguished Leader Award from Susan B. Anthony this year. And tremendous amount of work on that issue. The Senate doesn't take the bill up. The bill had wide bipartisan support in the House because we worked the issue. It's a bill that my constituents were pleased
And I understand,
that
I'm
I
not
was
trying
taking
to
my
blame
time.
you for everything, I may come across that. That's not my intent.
Way to go, Dave. That was good.
My intent is that you take back to the GOP leadership.
Yeah.
Because that's, if you're right, me and you, if we sat down, I would find things you've done, I can tell you other things that I disagree with, things that I agree with. But I can tell you that most of the people that I know are so disgusted with the GOP. All we see are
Yeah.
cowards, surrender monkeys, and people that stab us in the back at the first chance they
That's
get.
not all you see. You see people like me that stand up and fight for
I'm
you
talking
every
about the
day.
leadership. I'm talking about the leadership.
Yeah.
The Boehner types, and even the Cantor type, who is now gone, those type of people in the GOP, that's one of our biggest things that frustrate us, is we feel like, wait a minute, we put you guys in power, and you stab us in the back at every turn. And you don't seem to have a plan, you don't seem to be able to lay out, hey, here's our strategy, and get people on board. It's like you're always reacting to Harry Reid.
Listen, I say that all the time. We need to be proactive, not reactive. And it's frustrating to the American people when the American dream is at stake, when freedom is at stake, when job stagnation is taking place across this country, when people are taking home less than they were taking home 6 years ago and haven't had a raise in years, and college kids coming out of school can't get a job. People are frustrated, and I fully understand it, and I appreciate it. And, when I talk to young people that are in our family, and they talk about how hard it is to get a job or to get a raise or to move up. And you've had all of that happen since the financial issues in 08. I met yesterday with a big group of community bankers. All of this Fannie, Freddie, all these problems caused by the big banks, now they come to the state charter community banks and they want to make them responsible for it and put the compliance on them. This Dodd-Frank,
Frank Dodd, yeah.
yeah, Frank Dodd is what I call it. That was the original name.
Yes.
I said they probably changed it because, if
It
you
didn't have any
had
good
Frank Dodd,
connotations, yeah.
it would be fraud, would be the acronym.
Yeah.
So, but see, if they've only passed half the regulations or put into place half the regulations, they're already up to estimating 24 million hours a year in compliance. So, it's just unbelievable. I know we're late to the court.
Well, I got one more question,
Let's get
just one
over
more.
there. Sure.
Yes or no, or whatever. What is your stand about Common Core? Do you know what that is?
Of course I know what it is.
Good.
Let's
A
replace
lot
it
of
with
people
common
don't-
sense.
A lot of people don't know what it is.
It's just ridiculous. I was reading an article this morning. I thought
I've
Common
got to
Core.
leave because I'm late for a
Yeah,
meeting, but
we've
I-
got to
but
schedule
I-
the
But I
courthouse.
do appreciate, and we do pray for you,
Thank you.
and
I
you
appreciate
stand
that.
for what is right, and you, I appreciate you.
Love to have that on your back window from now to November. I guarantee you, you'll end up getting better gas mileage with it than without it because I'm going to vote for the Keystone Pipeline to drill here, drill
That
there.
takes the cake. That takes the cake.
Give me
He's gonna pay you for originality.
I need to get it right on.
Huh?
Can I get it in writing?
Yeah, this vote's gonna
The
get
gas mileage.
better gas mileage because
I want one.
I will vote right.
I want one, I'm a big fan, I support you 100%.
Thank you so
And I
much.
appreciate what you do.
Thank
I don't
you.
want you to go anymore.
Oh,
I
good,
don't
and I've
want you to
got
go
your
away from here
signs.
thinking that we're all negative and that we don't appreciate what you do.
Need another one?
Because we
Thank
do.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much, and thanks for letting me.
Yeah, I'm sorry we didn't have more people
Well,
here.
let's do a photo real fast.
It's hard to get,
Here, let's set it on my phone, and then I'll tweet it out.
Well, we will pass this, I will send it to you as well, a link to this meeting. And we're
Okay.
going to pass it along to all our people that belong to our organizations.
Yeah, right against the silver wall. Y'all come here. Let's-
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man, you just wait till That's 49 lives there.
Ready, 1, 2.
Awesome.
Good.
Got it.
good deal. Thanks again for coming.
Absolutely.
Hope you will come back, hope I didn't run you off
Please
permanently.
do.
And I do apologize for that.
Next time
Oh,
I'll
yes, because of the time, it's hard to get.
Yeah,
try to get a word in edgewise next time.
absolutely.
Way to go, Sam.
Yeah, and I've got yard signs out back by the car, so feel free to grab some of those. We could use
You're
the
that sticker, I
help.
want to get that approved.
Oh, yes, yeah. Need more than one?
Yeah, give me one. I think one of my wife's got a picture of.
Good, good. Yeah.
Has anyone ever given any thought to changing the electoral college?
You know, it comes up from time to time, but I don't see that
I'm
happening.
not saying do away with this.